Alright, I call myself being cheap by trying to rejuvenate this battery. So I bought that charger Thursday from Harbor Freight, $140. I bought a thing of distilled water. I used probably 3 pounds of Epsom sauce, and I bought 2 boxes of baking soda to clean these cells. This cell was gone, and that cell wasn't doing much, and this cell was okay, and these three was okay. So earlier this morning, I took my battery out of my truck and sitting in the parking lot, the Expedition. I took the battery out the truck Friday afternoon when I came home from work, and came up here. I dumped the old acid out into this bucket. I used this bucket to flush the water and baking soda, put in the cells to clean it, turn around, did the process twice, put distilled water and Epsom salt into these cells. This one came around a little bit. This one was already okay, but it was working better. Then this one acted like it was bubbling, then it wasn't. System went through a full charge, 5 hours Friday. Said it was fully charged, but this one still no activity. And this one it stopped showing activity. So yesterday did the same thing, flushed it out, recharged it. It bubbled a little bit, but then it stopped. This one was okay, bubbling. Then this one, same thing. It bubbled a little bit, but it wasn't really showing no activity. So then this morning I get up and I flush it out again, dump a majority of this box of baking soda into the cells, flush it probably 6 to 8 times, put it on charger again, same thing. It acted like it was showing activity, then it wasn't. So then I flushed it a good 10 times out of that just water and baking soda. Flushed it multiple times, a dozen times at least, and let the water sit in there. And I waited until it was even bubbling with just the water and the baking soda, or just straight water in it, and seeing the activity of it bubbling, bringing off the particles off of the cells inside of it, which it was doing. Both of them was. This one was showing no activity, with just plain water sitting on it and bubbling off. I didn't have the charger hooked up, but that's what I was doing. I was watching the particles come up off of the cells, and it was bubbling. And I was watching it come off the cell. I had it fully covered in water, and I was watching it kept bubbling, and the particles come up off the cells. So I did that and wait until they slowed down, just plain water in it, sitting over the bucket without the cables hooked up to it. So I said, maybe it's ready, because it slowed down on the bubbling, and it slowed down with particles coming to the top, flowing off. So I put it back on the charger from like 8 to 12, and it said it was fully charged. So I took it and I put it in the truck. I put it in the truck. It wouldn't crank. It cranked a little bit, but it wouldn't fully start. So I brought it back up here, and I'm testing it. It's saying it had 1326 volts. So then I put it back on the thing. That was saying it was 1276. So I'm like, maybe it's just this side, because these cells was good. So I'm like, maybe it was just these cells that it was reading, and it tricked the machine into thinking that it was fully charged. So I brought it back up again. I didn't re-clean it. I didn't redo nothing. I just put it back on the charger. And then it was reconditioned, and things was much lower. The cells were much lower after I put it in the truck and tried to crank it. It was much lower than what it was before. We were just sitting, so maybe it was a void space maybe it was a void space or something sitting in all the cells because it was way lower, just barely above the cells when I brought it back in and put it on the charger. So now I'm gonna say from 130, somewhere between 130 and 145 up until now, it been on the charger, and it's just barely still at 1425. So that means these are now charging. But during that period of time, it's Sunday, and here in Las Vegas, the junkyard closes at 4. So I'm thinking about tomorrow. I'm supposed to be doing laundry today, but again, this parking lot is full, and I wasn't gonna move my truck anyways today. So I'm like, I called up a buddy and had him take him to the junkyard to buy another battery. So, because I'm thinking about work tomorrow and the rest of this week. So, being cheap, I spent $140 on the charger. I spent roughly $15 on baking soda and distilled water and Epsom salt, trying to revive this battery so I won't have to buy another battery, which is come out close to $200 something when I should have just bought another battery, shopped around, besides trying to go to AutoZone and get a battery, spend $260 for this kind of battery. I mean, I could have just probably went to Walmart or shopped around for a cheaper battery, or just went to the junkyard like I did and got a battery to put in that truck until the future or whenever. So I got another battery. I got a battery in the truck right now. It works perfect. It's fine. And I still got this battery. And I have a new charging thing. So I'm going to test this battery to see if it holds. And I did test each cell, and these cells is 194, 196, and these two is actually good. This one was like 197, 196. These are above 2, above 2.0 or 2 point something. So these cells are good. I haven't tested it with it being, in a cool down state or whatnot, but they actually read higher. And 10 minutes after it then cooled down, 10, 15 minutes after it cooled down, it reads roughly around 2.4, 2.5, or sometimes even higher. So I know these cells are good. It's these ones I'm trying to bring back and show activity. So, being cheap, this is what I got. $140. $140 for the charger, an extra battery, baking soda, distilled water, and Epsom sauce. That's what being cheap gets you. Oh yeah, and I use a shirt, an old shirt. Well, it's a new shirt, but it's old now.